Da-da-da-da! Video 3 in the series. This time we're going to be talking about the engineering and working with Game Trayz and the implementation of cool, slick, sexy engineering production talk.
All right, I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, like one of the coolest things that drew me to this project was the fact that we got to work alongside Game Trayz. And for those unfamiliar, this is a studio that is like put in plastics and inserts and like organization stuff in like 170 different, more than 170 different shipped products, right? So they're probably already on your shelf. You probably have already seen their logo on your cool stuff in your games, right? So yeah, right there, yeah. The thing that I really wanted to do with this is really make sure that we married form and function and add a third dimension to the interface and to the game table presence, right? So we don't want to get a bunch of just decadent, wasteful stuff on here. What we want to do is we want to just make sure that everything has its own utility and its own use, and everything is really coming together. So as you open the game, this is a game with hundreds of components. I mean, what do we have? We have hundreds of encounter cards. We have
just like the sheer variety of components too. Just like tons of tokens, punch board, lots of custom stuff. Your player dashboard alone is a triumph of craziness.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna get a nosebleed just thinking about all this stuff. But the idea is that we can have this huge box and just take everything out in trays and it's set up. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
I mean, like cool things like this. Like look at this. Boom.
Right. This flops over. That packs up, goes right in the box. You don't have to worry about storing the components or the tokens or anything. You just tuck it away.
Yeah, you don't have to like pull them out and then put them back in and then pull them back out at the end of the game. You just take this little piece, and this is Noah Adelman, who's the brains behind Game Trayz, and then also we got Bryce Cook, who's the guy who's another engineer that's working there, artist and engineer who's working there. This is their first try. And, we just took this thing out into the public, and people are like, "Blah!" Yeah. And Noah's like, I'm going to redo everything to make it even cooler.
Just like an engineer would, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even understand. Like, this is like, he is like a Gandalf or something to me. Like, I can't understand or comprehend. This is like wizardry, in my opinion. So yeah, he's done like this really cool job of even exceeding our expectations. So like Mike and I started with, we needed a centerpiece for the game, and so we have this dice tray over here. So like if you pick it up, I'm not touching that thing. You pick it up.
What, the whole thing?
That's too far of a reach.
Yeah, you don't want to reach in front of my face.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dice tower. The idea is that you dump the dice in the top, and this tray here has these little tiered sections. So the dice care where they land, but also they care if they're on one of these little critical results or on one of these little blank results. So like the criticals count as double, and it's just like it's a really simple, straightforward thing. But it's also like it just uses this space, like this third dimension, like we were saying, in kind of a novel and in a really interesting way. Like when we roll these dice, you're like, you don't really.
I'm gonna roll some dice.
Yeah,
keep talking. Put it down.
Yeah. When you roll the dice, like a challenge or whatever, you're comparing like the number of dice you're rolling, but like you don't have to think about all the probabilities. You don't have to think about the stochastics. That's a fun word.
Is that a word?
It is, yeah. It's probabilities, basically.
Who knows where words come from?
Pretty much, yeah. But you don't have to think about that. All you have to think about is like, 3 dice is more than 2 dice, so I probably have a pretty good chance. So like it's a nice like resolution system, cool table piece, a novel kind of resolution there. So it's it's fun. And
it also has like you also have the those moments, those big like, oh my god, like right here, like you have a crit in the highest value place. And there's tension too, and like how damage is dealt and all that stuff, and we'll get into that stuff later. But I think like the main thing that's cool is like, so normally in a game, so for example, we have this market of cards, right? So normally in a game, someone might have to look across the table, and this you can like hand it like like a little iPad. Why don't you consider what you're going to buy for your next turn when it's not your turn, right?
Please pass the asset cue.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what's going over here? We got, these are the factions. What do these people do? What kind of jobs are available? What are these cool cards that you can get from the factions? All that type of stuff. And then on top...
When the game's over, you just put a lid on it and just throw it in the box.
That's right. And that's the thing. And like you're the player, so there's a lot going on in this game. Like a lot. And the player situation... we've got slots for jobs as you get jobs for factions. Those things go in. Like literally your weapon is in like a little holster, right? You're going to use your actual human hands to hold cards. That's a crazy idea.
Yeah.
There's spaces for everything. The tokens that you get. The way you track your life. We've got custom little things like this little, we talked about this in the last video, the like little fungalite, which like lowers your HP. Those have custom things. They slot in. It's really, really cool. I mean, like, to me, I've worked on like literally 100+ products, and I haven't worked on a product that has this degree of love and attention to detail ever. Like, I mean, it is really like a really neat and unique thing to be a part of.
For me, the most special things that the plastics add is the fact that, like, we played this as a prototype. We played it with like paper and everything, and like you have all your things on the table in front of you, and it's like it's a lot of stuff. Like, it's hard to track, right? But the plastics, they organize all this chaos and they present it in a way that I know exactly where everything is. Even though there's a lot of stuff, it's just right here. And like that gives us so much more space to add more depth and more width to this game without really like overwhelming the player. I mean, it's just it changes the paradigm of
Sure. And I mean, even though like, you know, he came up with this like here, and you're not gonna be able to see this from the top down view, but like there's tiers to the planet. So like there's a sense of elevation. Yeah, you know, you can put more tokens inside of there. But it gives a sense of like topography, right? Like, okay, maybe I'm like on a mesa and I'm like moving across the board. Or like, oh, I got to go up this, you know, there's a plateau here, or there's a promontory here. This is like a big cliff or something like that. Really neat, just little details in there. Things that I would have never thought of. After working on, like I said, 100+ products, I would have never considered the degree of just cool variety, thoughtfulness to this. So which is a really cool thing for Noah, because Noah has helped so many other products shine, and that's got to be a little bit of an interesting, maybe even a difficult role to play, because he's not a leading man in those products, right? He's quite literally like playing a part in the whole. And so what we wanted to do is really showcase like what he does is special, right. What he does is cool, what he does is like insanely creative, insanely artistic, and then even things like Bryce. Like, so we have there's only the miniatures for the characters. So in the base game, there's only 6 miniatures, right?
Right.
So where other games would be like, oh, we're gonna have like 100 miniatures. Like these little standees could easily be miniatures, but the faction characters change every game. So we just thought, you know what, placeholders, and it also drives home the importance of these characters, right? Like the characters really stand out in the landscape of this world. And as they should, because that's who you are. That's what you are in the game. That's the lens through which you're looking. So I think all of that stuff is pretty stinking cool.
Yeah. And it makes for just like, I mean, just a special, unique product that I mean, there's nothing else like this. So
what is your? I'm gonna ask you a question. This is the part where we ask questions.
Right,
You ready?
I'm ready.
So what is a game with its presentation that uses like more than standard standard components that you think is like a really cool, like a product that stands out in your mind?
I mean, can I give an answer that Noah has already worked on? Noah Game Trayz.
Yes.
I mean, it's got to be Fireball Island, right? Like, then Noah did the plastic the for the remake, for the Restoration Games remake. You know, he did the plastics for that, and he has the mold and all. And it's like, I mean, it's just really cool. You know, the one of the big challenges we presented with him when we went to pitch this studio is like, what is the coolest thing you can think of to do with Game Trayz? You know, and he, you know, he loves Rumble and Tumble and Dice.
Oh yeah, which we played. Yeah. We like literally like just hung out and played.
And that's where the tower came from. So, yeah, I mean, like that. You know, I think that's probably going to be it. Fireball Island. It's like it's hard to beat that.
I'm actually having a hard time trying to beat it right now.
Yeah, you can.
Well, so I really love the Dune Imperium game, and I really appreciate the deluxe storage in that.
He loves the game. He won't shut up about
it. I love it. I've like literally played it almost 100 times, and like no hyperbole. And I'm a very hyperbolic human being, but like I played that game almost 100 times, very close to 100 times, and
probably 20 times.
No, like literally, like Chris and I during COVID played it. Like we would like wake up at like 7 a.m, like kids sneaking down to see Christmas presents under the tree, and we would just play Dune very quietly. So his wife didn't know that we were up that early. So yeah, like when I saw the deluxe of that, it was like awesome because it had miniatures. It was awesome, but like the storage stuff in there is just great. Like it's cool to go, this place has a home, and every time I go to put this away, I don't just throw a bunch of crap in a bag or put a rubber band around it and then the sleeves get all messed up. So that was a recent thing that I thought was like a really cool. I mean, like Noah's worked on. It's hard to not give accolades to Noah because almost all of the games that he works on are so rad, and they add such a high level of I don't know, like just coolness factor.
It takes production to the next level, and it's something else.
Like 2 words come to mind: jet fuel limousine.
Just those are 2 words. I guess so.
Yeah, but like for him, right? So yeah, I don't know. So Noah, you're awesome. Good job. Thank you for like letting us work on this project and helping us with your cool wizardry. Good job. High five again.
High five again. We did another video.